Do you dread sitting across the table from someone and having to answer questions about yourself? In other words, do you dread sitting for an interview? Maybe you have an interview coming up and you're so desperate to get the job and so eager to get the job that it's giving you all kinds of nervousness. Now, I want you to relax. I want you to relax because today I'm going to explain to you how to land that dream job of yours. Now, before I go there, story time. So there was a guy who his kid said to him, "Dad, I'm hungry, I'm feeling to eat an egg." But the dad, unfortunately, had no idea how to cook an egg. So he went to ask around how to make an egg. So somebody in the town told him, "Go there to the university, they will teach you how to make the most excellent egg." So he goes to the university and he says, "Look, I need to make an egg. What do I do?" So they said, "Okay, relax. We got you. We've got this 3-year degree, a degree in egg making, and it'll tell you everything you need to know about making an egg." So we've got so many different modules that basically teach you every aspect about the egg. For example, we've got Philosophy 101 that teaches you what came first, the chicken or the egg. We've got Ornithology 101, which teaches you everything about the chicken. We've got Biology 101, which teaches you everything that goes on inside of the egg. And we've got Engineering 101, which explains to you what a miracle the eggshell is and how strong it is and how it protects the little chicken growing inside. And so they gave him a whole list of subjects that he can do. So he, being a diligent person and being committed, he enrolled and he started studying. By the end of the 3 years, he received his degree, very happy, but he goes up to his professor and says, "Sir, I came here to learn how to make an egg. And I've done all of this wonderful learning. I've done this degree. I've been through all of these modules, but yet I still don't know how to make an egg." So the professor looked at him angrily and he said, "Don't ask me. I've never made an egg in my life." Now, what is the point of this? The point of this is that most of us are looking to get into a career. We're looking to land that dream job. But do we have the skills to do what is required to do? Now, the child in that example, the son in the story that I gave you, is the analogy of an organization, a business, a non-profit, your prospective employer. And that employer is saying, "I need you to do X, Y, and Z." And you are telling him that "I've got this degree, I've done this module, I've done that module, I've done that module." And the guy is, "No, I'm hungry. I need to eat an egg. I'm hungry. Feed me." Now, what is the business saying? Obviously, they're not saying they're hungry. They're saying they have certain things to do. They have software to develop. They have apps to develop. They have websites. They have a marketing strategy to put into place. They have financials they need to put into place. And you are telling them that "I've read some books." That's not good enough. And that's not going to give you that job. It's not going to land you that job. So what I'm trying to say is that interview starts 3 or 4 years before you are sitting across the table from that interviewer. It starts a long, long way before then. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean by this that first and foremost, what you need to do is stop thinking about yourself. Stop being selfish and start thinking about your employer. And here I'm talking from both sides of the table, right? There was a time when I was sitting on the other side of the table when I was the interviewee, and there were times now, usually as an interviewer, I'm sitting on this side of the table where I'm asking all the questions. But mind you, as an entrepreneur, I still sit in so-called interviews when I'm visiting a client, when I'm trying to get the client's business. So it's kind of an interview, but for my business, not so much for me. So in my experience as an interviewer, it's that people are too selfish. You are sitting there across from me and you want to know what I can do for you. You're coming to me with a piece of paper that says you've read some books, with an endorsement from a university. Very good. Top-notch university. How much did you pay? I don't know, 500,000 rands, 1 million rand for your fees. Very good. Okay. Can you deliver value to my business? The moment you tell me I'm a fast learner, you already disqualified yourself, because I don't need learners. Your learning was supposed to have been done in the 3 or 4 years you were at university. That's a place of learning. This is a place to hit the ground running. This is the place to get going with the work. My clients are not cared that you are going to be learning how to make a website before you make their websites. My clients don't care that you're going to be learning how to draw up the plans for their new building. They want it now. They have deadlines. They've got a bank screaming at them. They've got investors screaming at them, and they are screaming at me. And you telling me you're a fast learner. How fast? Can you learn this in 5 minutes? Okay, in that case, good. Can you learn it in a day? Okay, good. But you can't, because I know what it's like. So if you want to be a software developer, and I'm a software engineer, and you come and tell me, yeah, I did Java 101. You did Java 101. I did intermediate, beginner, intermediate, advanced Java. Nice. Good joke. But can you build software solutions for me? We need this AI-driven learning management system for that client, or we need an e-commerce system for that. Can you do it? Can you start today? Can you join my team? Do you know how to sit in a team, how to be part of a team? So these are the questions that are in my head, and I will be asking you that. But you are sitting there repeatedly showing me, I'm a graduate of XYZ university, top-notch university in the country. That doesn't solve my problems. I don't care that you didn't graduate at a university. I don't care that the college you went to was a community college somewhere, not one of the Harvards of this world. I don't care. All I care about is, can you deliver? Can you become a part of my team? Can you do what is expected of you, and then some more? Can you go overboard? Can you go, not overboard, above and beyond what I expect? Can you become an innovator? Can you drive my business forward? Can you deliver value? But what you are interested in, and what everybody's interested in, how much will you pay me? It's a too one-sided thing. If that's how you are thinking, then you're a selfish person. You need to shift the view to your interviewer, to the business that is interviewing you, and ask yourself the question, how can I deliver value to this business? What do they want out of me? What can I do to prepare myself to be that person that they want me to be? And then now you are asking the right questions, because now you are focusing on your client. And I'll give you an example. Recently, IT Varsity sent out a proposal. We were called into a meeting with a huge company. I mean, one of the biggest companies in South Africa. And I sat across the table from them, and they asked me, how much do you charge for your trainings? These courses look interesting. And I turned around by answering their question with another question. And my question was this: what can I do? Before I answer that, I want to know, what can I do to deliver value to you? What is it that you need? What are the problems? What are your pain points? Tell me that first. We'll talk money later. Tell me that. My God, that was so appreciated. The guy sat in front of me. He was the CTO of the company. He sat there and he went A to Z. Ever since I started, these are the challenges I've been facing. This is the next challenge, and this is the next, and next, and next. And he basically, almost like a confessional or a counseling session, he sat there and he told me everything, and I made notes. And then I said, look, before we talk anything, money, any further engagement, let me go and take these notes of mine that I made of what you were saying, and I will come back to you with a solution. First, see if I've got the solution. I don't just want to train for you. IT Varsity is not here just to, train for the sake of training. We want to solve your problems through training. And if we can't, then you better find someone else. But we will, I promise you, because we are an innovative, small, innovative company. So I went back and I looked at his problems. I looked at everything. I discussed with my team. I brought everybody together. And I said, guys, this is the problem they are having. How can we solve these problems? And then I took that and went to the client. He was bold. He was bold. And now we are at a stage where that client is just, he's basically, he'll sit with his blank checkbook and ask me, how much do you want? Because what you've got here is the solution for my company. You are not just a training partner. You are an integral part of my business if we go ahead with this. So you don't have to even bargain. It's not a matter of bargaining anymore, because I have demonstrated value to my client. I have demonstrated value to his business. I have demonstrated growth for his business, which is worth far more than anything he will pay me, even though it'll be a lot of money for me. So think about your client. Think about your employer. Stop thinking about yourself, okay? Stop being selfish. The next thing is, the question you'll ask me next is, okay, how do I get to know this? Let's say I want to get into a career. I've just finished matric and software development seems interesting to me, or accounting seems interesting, or engineering, or being a chef. All this seems interesting, but where do I learn? What is required of me? Now, most people will do, I'll tell you what they'll do. They'll do the lazy thing. They'll say, okay, software engineering. Okay, I'm going to go to a college and study software engineering. That is lazy. That is just you outsourcing the most important decision of your life to someone else. You are hoping that they will prepare you for that job. You have no idea what that job entails. You have no idea what a person who is working in that job anywhere in the world, what his or her day-to-day life looks like. You have no idea what the company wants out of you, and you expect that the college is going to give you that. No, they are not. They are not. You are going to have to do the research yourself. And that's why I say to people, take a gap year if you have to. Don't just rush into college, thinking college is going to prepare you for the world of work. Which era are you living in? Which rock are you living under? Colleges don't do that. Universities don't do that. They give you a degree in egg making that makes you into a genius with philosophy and science and technology and engineering, but you don't know how to make a simple fried egg or a poached egg or a scrambled egg. That's what they give you. So you are going to need to take the responsibility yourself of doing that research. So how do you go about doing that research? Easy. ChatGPT. I mean, 2 years ago, I couldn't say this. I would have said, go on to Google, do some searches, this and that. So I went to ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT this question. I said, how does one go about researching one's dream job? Let's say I want to land a job as a computer programmer, but I really don't know what it entails, what it takes to become a software developer, what companies are looking for in their software developers, or what do I need to study, what kind of soft skills I will need to have. How do I go about researching all of this? Give me steps I can take, but make it generic to any career I want to pursue. So I've just used software development as an example, but I need ChatGPT to give me generic advice. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, what amazing advice. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to give you just the main points. First, it says do self-assessment. Get to know yourself. You know the thing I keep telling you guys, if you look at the previous episodes, your career choice, your business idea, your life partner, your every decision that you make, where you want to live, what kind of home, what kind of car, what kind of partner, it starts with self-awareness. Get to know yourself. Know thyself. What the philosophers say, what Aristotle said, know thyself. So this is what ChatGPT is also saying, self-awareness. Next, job description analysis. So go to job sites, indeed.com, and there's a whole lot here in South Africa. Just go and look at that job analysis, right? And then take that, and what you do is you go to a professional who's already in the game, right? So let's say you want to be a Java developer. Go on LinkedIn, find a Java developer and engage that person in the conversation and ask them, look, this is what I've been told is required in a Java job, because a lot of these job postings are absolute nonsense. They'll ask you things that nobody in the world is ready for. You know, you must know Java, you must know how to fly a spaceship, you must know how to cook a gourmet meal, and you must know how to dive in the ocean. I don't know, you know, they give you a whole lot of nonsense things that nobody is really ready for. I'm 30 years in the game, I don't even qualify for some of these descriptions. It's just basically they throw everything at you. So take that description and now go to a Java developer. This is what I did. This is what young me did. I found developers. It wasn't easy, but I went through networks of networks. See, I wasn't lazy. And I found people and I said, okay, tell me whatever I need to know to get into this game. And they told me everything. I went to different people. I ended up in India, speaking to developers in India about what I needed to be a top-notch Java developer, not just any ordinary Java developer. So I did my networking. So that's the second thing you need to do. Know thyself, study the job, networking. The next thing you need to do is company research now. Now you identify companies that are hiring, or not even hiring, Java developers. And that also requires research and networking. And when you find a company you want to work for, let's say you want to work for ABC company, start researching that company. Who are the people behind this company? What is their game? What is their culture like? What do they look for? What do their staff think about their workplace? Network with people within that company and get to know them, understand what the company is all about. What you are doing there is you are preparing yourself for that company's culture. You can have all the skills you want. Trust me, I've had people working for me like that were geniuses, but I just couldn't work with them because despite having all the skills, they couldn't become part of my company culture, so I had to let them go. Now, understand the company. Now, once you've done all of that, now you look at, okay, I need all of these. I need to know Java, I need to know the Spring framework, I need to know, for example, version control with Git and GitHub. I need to know a little bit of systems analysis. Now, all of that is in front of you. And now you go and you start researching online institutes or any institute that will teach you all of that. Besides IT Varsity, I don't know you're going to find anything, but IT Varsity teaches you all that. Sorry to brag, but that's what we do. And then you see which one teaches you all of that. Then you ask them questions also. Approach the college. Sit across the table from a consultant and ask them the right questions. Will I learn to build solutions? Not will I do basic, intermediate. Somebody asked me that question. So do you do advanced Java? I'm like, what is that? Yeah, advanced Java. What is that? We teach you to build applications with Java. You go into a workplace, the client is not going to ask you, do you know advanced Java? Can you build an advanced app? They'll say, we need an app to be built. Finish. Here's the requirements. And it's either you can build that app or you can't. There's no basic, intermediate, advanced in this game. Anyways, so you do your research on your educational institute. And then you take that back to your network and say, look, I'm looking at perhaps studying with one of these. Help me to choose. Now, those are the steps to do your research. You haven't even started yet. You've just done your research. Once your research is done, now you've got a knowledge map. You know exactly what you need to know to get into that dream career. You've got already a small network of people. You already know a few companies that you want to work for. You know a few educational institutes that will help you to bridge that gap to get to that point. All you need to do is press the green button and you're ready to go. That's when your journey starts. That's when your interview has started. Not the day you're sitting in front of this person. It started all the way back then when you started doing that research. Why? Because you are preparing for that day when you are sitting in front of me, when you're sitting in front of that prospective employer, because by then you are ready for the job. And how does this person know that you are ready? Okay, I'll tell you. That person knows that you are ready for that job. See, you are sitting there, you've just come in, you've sat down, dressed up decently, smiling, but in this person's mind, I want this person to work for me. It's already embedded in his or her head. And this interview is only a formality. Now, how do they know that they want you to work for them? How do they know already that you're going to deliver value to their business? Did they look at your CV? Yeah, partly. The CV is not your autobiography. It's not a book. It's a very simple document that outlines who you are, what you've done in the past. Just confirms all of that. But that is not how this person knows that they want you, and they've already got a number in their heads of what you are worth to that business. You know how they know that? They know that because you know all that research you've been doing and all that learning you've been doing, you've been documenting that on the world's greatest CV, LinkedIn. Your LinkedIn profile is your live and dynamic CV. That's what it is. Did you ever look at it like that? You think, well, LinkedIn is just another social network. It's not. It's not. It's your live CV. It's that CV that you keep changing as you are growing. And it's a CV where you share with others who you are as a person and what your interests are. Now, trust me when I tell you that numbers don't count on social media. They absolutely don't count. You know, I'm very active on social media, and I've got friends and colleagues who are true influencers. I mean, I just clocked 50,000 recently on TikTok, and I'm like on 4,000 followers on LinkedIn. And there are guys that have 10 times what I have, 200,000 sometimes, 250,000 followers on LinkedIn, and they don't make a cent. But we have a steady stream of business coming into IT Varsity because we are attracting the right people. We're not dealing with vanity metrics. What vanity metrics means, I learned this from a digital marketer, it means numbers that just make you feel happy, but they don't deliver anything. So numbers don't matter. You might have 20 followers, but you are putting out on LinkedIn. Somebody is going to see that. People are watching that. There are people that are scouring LinkedIn all the time looking for talent just like you. Now you need to demonstrate to them as if you are already sitting in front of that person. You need to demonstrate via your LinkedIn profile who and what you are and what you stand for and what your skills are. That's how you approach your LinkedIn profile. It's almost as if you are presenting that profile to your interviewer. Now, if you've done that right, if you've done that correctly, and how do I mean correctly? Go and look it up. I don't want to dive too deep into a LinkedIn profile, but simple things like a good professional photograph of yourself. Go and look at my LinkedIn profile. There's a professional photograph, cost me a couple of $100 to do. A good, clean LinkedIn profile with a good heading, a good description, and then I share my content. Anything you learn, share it. Maybe it's just baby step stuff, share it. But people want to see your learning journey, A to Z, zero, upwards, upwards, upwards. They don't want to see, right, I'm a big top-notch Java guru now. They don't want to see that. They want to see your growth because that demonstrates your ability to grow and learn. Share articles that show what you believe in this world, what sort of things matter to you, and you'll attract the type of company that also has similar beliefs, right? So put out, just keep putting out. Never mind X and TikTok and things. Look after your LinkedIn profile. And when you do make your actual physical CV, put your LinkedIn profile in there, into your CV. And then the one student asked me, how do you conduct yourself in that interview? So after all of that, the past year, 2 years, 3 years, you've been mapping out your learning pathway, you've been studying the companies, you've been studying your field of interest, you've been studying the knowledge, you've been gaining the knowledge, you've been putting out on LinkedIn. and you've achieved all of this. How do you sit in that interview? Like a boss. You sit there like a boss because you're not this nervous little, startup. You're a person who knows your game. You can sit there with confidence, hands folded, legs crossed, arms folded, legs crossed, sitting with confidence. Confidence, you can't make up confidence. Listen. You'll see a YouTube video where the guy will tell you how to act confident in an interview. I can read through that. Your interviewer, the CEO or the HR manager, the person interviewing you can read through that, whether you've got real confidence or made up confidence. You see, there's a difference. Both look like confidence, but we've been there. We've dealt with hundreds of people and we know what is real confidence. Real confidence comes from what you speak and how you speak it. And when you start talking my language in that interview, I just know that this is coming, that you are speaking with confidence. So you sit there like a boss and you deliver because you know me, you know my company, you know your game. What else do you need? Nothing. You've got everything. You've got the arsenal. You've got the bargaining chip. Ask me how much are you going to pay me? I will take your business from here to there by doing A, B, and C. I'm sold. I'm sold. You want shares? Have shares in my business. Expected salary. You see, another student asked me, how do we deal with, if I ask you, okay, what salary are you expecting? Don't shy away from that. Like I said, like a boss. You know, you've done your research. You know what people in your game, intermediate level. Don't go for the entry level. The entry level are for those, and this is something I tell my students, those university graduates that don't have any skills, let them take the entry level salaries. You go for intermediate at least. So you say, well, okay, 25,000 Rand a month, these guys are earning. You sit there and say, look, I deserve more, but I will settle for 25,000 just for you to give me the opportunity to prove myself for 6 months. And then we can review it. And the person will be like, okay, see, this person knows her value. She knows her value. I'm not gonna argue with a person who knows their value. She's demonstrated to me on LinkedIn, on her CV, in the way she's speaking, that she's a pro, that she's more valuable than some of my senior people. I'm not going to argue with this person. Either I can afford it or I can't afford it. But I'm impressed. So, see, don't undervalue yourself. Build up. When you build up this entire picture, then people will be offering you. Now, it often happens that we have all our hopes somewhere and we think we're going to get this job. A lot of times there are indications we are going to get this job, and there are a lot of times we just make up those indications in our head. But whatever the case, there are some times when you are rejected. Now, what do you do? First and foremost, that rejection shouldn't get you down, right? If it gets you down, there's probably one major reason for that. It's that you had banked so much of hope on this one job that you didn't have other potential jobs waiting in the line. That this is your one interview you secured. And my question to you immediately is then why? Why do you have only one interview secured? Why don't you have a whole slew of interviews secured? So the one rejected, okay, you've got 20 more. Your pipeline is fat. I say that to my salespeople. Your pipeline needs to be fat. So if you get rejected by 9, if you got 10 people in your pipeline, you get rejected 9 times, at least the 10th one will win. But if you got only one thing in your pipeline, you get rejected, that's it, you're gone. There's no more potential for you. So you can't suffice on just one interview. You need to apply to as many companies as you can. You need to apply to hundreds of companies and secure at least 20 or 30 different interviews. So if one fails, you got others. You keep yourself buoyant. You didn't just put all your hopes on the one and say, if I don't get this, I shall go into my house, curl up, and I shall die. Nobody thinks like that. No successful person thinks like that. So manage that rejection. Give yourself a soft landing from that rejection by having backups and backups of those backups. Ultimately, I have to say this, that we are living in a time where there is a paradoxical scenario. Let's call it Bilal's paradox. I'm pretentious like that, right? I make up rules and I give them my own name. Bilal's paradox states that we are living in a time where organizations are desperately looking for talent but can't find it. And people are desperately looking for organizations to work for but can't find them. You see the problem? So you've got this chasm. Organization looking for people, people looking for organization, but there's a chasm, there's a gap in between. Why is there a gap? When the organizations are there and the people are there, why aren't they clicking? Why doesn't organization meet person? Boy meets girl, organization meets talent. Why is that not happening? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because what the organizations need and what is actually being produced by educational institutes are completely different. Completely different. So institutes, not ID Varsity, are producing people with pieces of paper that say you've done course A, B, C, and D, and E, and E, and F, beginner, intermediate, advanced. But can you do anything with this? No, I can't. I'm a quick learner. And then the organizations need people who are innovators. This is what I need. This is what I need. And I've surrounded myself with people who I don't even have to tell them their jobs anymore. Yes, we gave them initial instructions and they run away with it. They invent things and they come and show me. This is what I invented. And I trust them implicitly. That's what they are looking for. So be that. Train yourself to be that and you will break the Bilal's paradox. Thanks a lot, guys. And I'll catch you in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this one and you learned something from it. Let's catch up again next week, Friday.